What's going on, guys? John Cochran, the king of systems here. And, I was just thinking the other day, I was like, man, I've got to get onto a live and, show all of my my very, very loyal followers and everybody that has watched me for all the years. I got to show you guys a better approach to go out there and find better deals right here into this real estate market. And there's a system that we have been using really for the past few years, and I'm going to share with you why we've been using this over the past few years. And it's a system that we don't talk about really hardly at all. And it's all about buying properties at the foreclosure auction, but you actually never even bid on any of these properties. So why don't you guys, just so you guys know, I am in my basement. I have no internet at my house, so I am just kind of working all off a hotspot. So this video might be a little bit, or this live might be a little bit choppy, if you will. But if you guys would go into the chat, let me know kind of where you're streaming in from, where you're located at. And if you guys would put your challenge, your #1 challenge that you're having inside of your real estate business right now. Definitely let me know where you're streaming at down into the comment box. But again, what I want to talk about is I want to talk all about the foreclosure auctions and how you can go out there and better buy properties, at the foreclosure auctions, and you never even bid on a house. And oh, by the way, with what I'm getting ready to tell you guys, the strategy that I'm going to show you guys is 100% free. And oh, by the way, you don't need any money to put down at all. So like the foreclosure auctions, you got to go and probably have cashier's checks of 10% all the way up to 100%, of whatever you win the actual auction for. It just depends. In our area, it's 10%. You buy a house for $100,000, you got to put $10,000 down, and then you've got to wait for, them to get the deed done, which it could take 30 days. It could take 90 days. Hell, I've had them take 6 months, before just to get that deed on. And the problem is that, that capital is out, right? So you're either paying a lender or that capital is out. You can't do anything with. Well, we're not going to have that issue anymore with having to put money down at these auctions or anything like that. And then, oh, by the way, the third thing is not only is this free, and not only do you not have to put any money down at the actual auction, or anything else, but this thing works, and it works very, very well. And oh, by the way, it works so well that you could probably have a deal using this technique, using this strategy, by like next week. A good solid deal by next week. So the first thing that I want to show you guys is very, very crucial. Okay, because you're probably coming to me and you're like, what foreclosure auctions? Why are you talking so much about these foreclosure auctions and the system and everything else? I want to show you guys live stats. I want to show you guys live research of kind of what's really happening into this real estate market right now. Because, I do a lot of research. And the reason that I do so much research is because my systems have to adjust. Me as a real estate investor, I have to stay on cutting edge technology and everything else. But my systems need to adjust as this real estate market changes. And, this is a market that it's changing very, very quickly. And I want to show you guys this. Let me hold on one second, guys. Okay, so check out this graph right here. Okay, check this out. This is what's actually happening in foreclosures right now. Like, this is the amount of foreclosure filings that are happening through the country. And, this right here tells me as an investor, it tells me everything that I need to know. Okay, about where this market is headed and everything else, because we keep hearing that there's a correction coming and all this other stuff, but we really don't know. Nobody has ever really said, well, what is the correction going to be? Why have we been struggling for the past few years on all this stuff? Well, why cannot I find any deals right now? Why did the market turn? All this other stuff. Well, here's the stats. Here's the absolute truth. This bar chart right here. This is the amount of foreclosures that are being filed by the banks, okay? Now, this has a trickle-down effect. This has a trickle-down effect because Obviously, the more foreclosures that are filed, the properties that are going to the more properties are going to, come up as REOs. More properties are going to be short sales. More properties are going to be on auction.com, all that other stuff. More properties are going to be pre-foreclosure with direct mail and everything else. It all comes down to the foreclosure filings, okay? So when you look at this from this bar chart, since, in 2010, if, our last crash, 2008, 2010, everybody was getting foreclosed upon. Everybody, all these foreclosures everybody was, getting filed, foreclosure filings against them. Not everybody, but you get the point. And, when you go down and you look at this, look at how many people are actually getting foreclosed upon now. It's very, very, very low. I mean, it's very scary low, to be honest with you. And here's the reason that I show you this is because it really, really, really matters. Okay, it really matters for what you do as a real estate investor. So, by seeing that the foreclosure filings are crazy, crazy low, it doesn't take a genius to figure out. Well, hell, dude, pre-foreclosures are going to be really low. Sheriff's auctions or foreclosure, auctions, the courthouse steps, those are going to be super, super low. REOs are going to be low. Everything's going to be super, super low with this. So, really when it comes down to it, because the foreclosure filings are so low, okay, when it really comes down to it, there's two things. There's two things that are very, very crucial and have been for the past 3.5 years. Almost 4 years into this real estate business, because we have started to see, well, we haven't started to see, inventory is like tight, and investors are like, where the hell is my inventory at? Like, I can't find inventory anywhere. Where the hell am I going to get inventory at? And everybody's overpaying for all this stuff. There's two things that you need to do right now inside of your real estate investing business. I guarantee you'll start finding deals, and it's the secret to this market. Okay, it is the absolute secret to this market. And here's what those two things are. You got to have leads, and you got to follow up with those leads. That's the first thing. You got to have leads, and you got to follow up. That is the absolute key. And that is like the number one thing that people don't do. Right? They got leads, and they just want to bring in new leads. But then it's like, at some point, you got to be like, hey, we just need to follow up these leads, okay? So follow-up is the absolute crucial thing. This is the number one thing that this market is really demanding from us, is following up with prospects, okay? The second thing that we as investors have to do, if the first thing that we have to do is we got to follow up like better than anybody, the second thing that we need to do as investors to find deals is we got to go off market. We have to go off market. Because foreclosure filings are so low, we can't look at REOs. We can't look at, sheriff's auctions. We can't look at HUD. We can't look at any of that stuff. We can't look at, pre-foreclosures, because it's just not there. I just showed you guys, it's just not there. So we got to follow up with leads, and we got to go off market. And if you really, really think about it, what is an off-market lead? So if you got a deal and it's off-market, what is the lead source? It's from a relationship, right? It's from a relationship. This is going to be a big aha, and this was a freaking huge aha for me, because back in, when I started to see this market get really, really tight, well, guess what? Follow up and relationships. What are you doing when you follow up? You're building a relationship. So no matter what, whether you're going out there and you're following up with a seller, or you're following up with a realtor, you're following up with, an attorney, or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You are doing one thing when you follow up. You're building a relationship. So that is the two things, guys. I'm telling you, if you get damn good at those two things, following up and relationships, you will win, and you will win very, very big. Over the next 12 months, you'll win very, very big, and even as this market turns, okay? So write that down. And if somebody would, put that into the chat. If you guys would, put that into the chat. Number one, follow up with leads. Number two, you got to go off market, and then you got to go with relationships. When you follow up, you're actually building relationships. You're doing exactly what this market wants you to do. Now, let's get back to foreclosure auctions, right? Foreclosure auctions are crazy, crazy low right now because the filings are so low. So, I mean, just do your research. Do your research. Go in and just do a Google search of how many, go to your county's, foreclosure site, where all the auctions are actually happening and whatnot. Just go to that site and look at all the inventory that they have. I'm going to guarantee you that it's next to non-existent. I'm going to guarantee you that it's next to non-existent, okay? And the reason is because foreclosure filings are so low. So if this market wants us to follow up and bring in all of our deals from follow-up and relationships, if that's what this market has wanted us to do for like so freaking long, with sheriff's auctions, foreclosures that are going to the courthouse steps, and since there's not much inventory, like what can we do at the sheriff's auctions in order to spin that to a follow-up and a relationship? And that's what we do. That's exactly what I do in my business. Because I know those two things that this market wants, I look at direct mail, I look at sheriff's auctions, I look at the MLS, I look at probate, I look at all these different sources. How can I tie all those sources to follow-up and relationships? That's how I've been dominating for, the past 3.5 years, when everybody else can't find inventory. So foreclosure auctions, okay, not much inventory there, but I would tell you guys, start going to those things. Start going to the actual auctions, and there's a reason why. Because of follow-up and relationships, how can you go out there and not even care how many properties are actually going to the actual auction? How can you go to these foreclosure auctions, never even place a bid, never even have to buy any of those properties that, the sheriff or whatever is going out there to a relationship and follow-up? It's simple. Here's what you do. Go to your next foreclosure auction. Go to all of them. Go to all of them. And start going to these auctions, and I want you to wear like super, super bright clothing, like the exact opposite is this, okay? So go there and wear like bright, green or bright yellow or something like that. I mean, I want you to stick out. Now, you're not going to be going and, bidding. You're not even don't even do research. Like it's just worthless. Don't even do research on any of the properties that are going there or anything else. What I want you to do is wear a super, super bright shirt, because what you're going to find is when you walk in there, there's all these other people, there's all these other investors that are bidding on properties there, from, the auction or whatnot. There are other investors that are doing that. Guys, look at those other investors as wholesalers, because that's exactly what they are. Okay, because a lot of times what happens is the people that are going to the auctions are hedge funds. It's people that, are landlords. It's a lot of people like that, hedge funds, landlords, other investors, because they're looking for more inventory to buy. Well, I've done this a gazillion and a half times, okay? I've been sitting on properties and they weren't like, like the best of deals or anything like that. And then I just have to like get rid of a property so that I can go out there and redeploy the capital or something like that. I've done this a gazillion times. And that's what you're going to find. That's exactly what you're going to find. You're going to find hedge funds at these auctions. You're going to find landlords at these auctions bidding on more properties. And what you need to do is think follow-up relationships. So wear something super, super bright. Have business cards, go up to these people at the auctions, just say, hey, my name's John Cochran, and hey, I know this is kind of weird, but do you got anything that I could buy off you? I saw that you were bidding on properties, so obviously you've got, properties or whatnot. Do you have anything that I could buy off you? Like I've got like the mother of all problems, right? I've got too much money and I need to buy something like pretty damn quick, and by like tomorrow at noon would be great if I could buy, property. So do you have anything, in your inventory that you'd be willing to sell me? So go to your auction and go out there and have, and reach out. And every single person at your auction, they need to know you. I mean, and that's the big key. They need to know you. Grab their business cards or whatnot, and then it's a follow-up game, guys. Then it's a follow-up game. You'll probably leave that auction. Okay, you'll probably leave that auction with already having properties that you could go out there and buy. Just from going out to other people, that are, they're bidding on properties. And that's your low-hanging fruit, guys. That's your low-hanging fruit. You see the people that are doing all the bidding, they're probably the people with the actual properties that need to go out there and probably liquidate some properties. You sure as hell don't know what their story is. So with everybody that's bidding, go up to those people first and then get everybody else, all the people that are at the auction, get every one of them, get their cards, get all their cards. And then it's a follow-up game, guys. It's a follow-up game after that. You'll leave the auction with properties. I guarantee you that you'll leave that auction with properties. And then you take all those cards, you call these people up, you just say, hey, my name is John Cochran. I met you at the auction. I got your card or what. I was the crazy guy in the bright green shirt. And I just wanted to follow up with you and see if you had any inventory. I don't know why the hell I grabbed my cell phone, but I just had it right next to me. I just wanted to see if you had any inventory, you came across anything or whatnot that you could go out there and sell me. So now, and oh, by the way, what you just did is this is all free. Like, you're not going out there and paying for leads or anything else, okay? And you're just going out there and you're just following up with all those people. And then the next auction, you go to the next auction as well. You're not interested in any of the properties that are going to the auction. You're interested in the actual crowd. You're interested in the actual crowd. So do this. Now, here's the other thing that you guys really, really need to pay attention to. By the way, was that helpful? Was that helpful? Yes or no? Here's the other thing that you really need to pay super, super close attention to. Here's the thing. Because of the lead source that you are getting these properties from, you're probably not going to be able to go out there and wholesale any of these properties, because the people that are bringing you these deals are probably going to be, getting a wholesale fee themselves, and that's fine. You just have to change your exit strategy to do a rehab on these properties, okay? Because of the lead source. Now, the deal that you can absolutely always go out there and wholesale yourself are deals that you get direct from seller. The seller that's having the motivation, the seller that needs to sell, you can always go out there and do that. But the beautiful thing about this system of going to the auction is you don't have to go out there and bid on any properties. You don't care about the inventory. You're getting the inventory from other people and probably, relationships they had or past auctions that they bought or whatnot. They just need to move some properties to get some capital liquid so that they can, continue to buy, or maybe they got to get some capital liquid to go out there and rehab one of the properties or whatnot. You don't know, guys. You do not know any of their situations, okay? So I want you guys to go out there and try that. It is 100% free. It works very, very well. You don't have to have any money down at the auction because you're getting the properties from the actual people at the auction. And oh, by the way, you can get a deal like next week at this. So go out there, wear a super, super bright color shirt, go to the auction, start collecting cards, have cards, and then it's just a follow-up game, guys. Do exactly what I just told you to do. Do exactly what I just told you to do, and I promise you, you will start buying properties very, very quickly. Now, here's the thing. Last thing, okay? Remember, this market is all about relationships and follow-up. When you follow up with your prospects, whether it's direct motivated sellers, the motivated sellers themselves, or whether it's, probate attorneys, or whether it's anything, probate attorneys, whether it's, people that, code violation people or realtors or whatever it is, when you follow up with all those people, you're doing one thing. You're building a relationship with them. It is the name of the game. It has been the name of the game for this real estate market, and I will promise you that when you do those two things, you will win, and you will win very, very big. Now, last thing, and I swear this is the last thing. If I was just so happen to have a system that automatically follows up with all of your prospects, like beautifully, 100% for you, but by you, if I had a system, a technology that did that 100% for you, how many of you guys would want to see it? That did all of your follow-up for you. You didn't have to think about it. Every lead was followed up with the exact same. How many of you guys would actually want to see that damn thing? Put it into the comments and go out there and say me into the comments. And then I challenge you next week, do right now, Go out there and see if there's any properties, you know, that are going to the auction, when your next auction is, and go to those things. Wear a super bright shirt, go in and talk with the actual crowd. You're not interested in anything that's going to be at the actual auction itself, because it's just not going to be anything worth anything, you know, for you, because foreclosure filings are so low and blah, 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 blah. Get the cards from everybody else and follow up with those people. Guys, it works. It works well. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.